A week before Election Day 2024, a crowd of 75,000 people gathered on the National Mall in Washington, D.C. to attend one of the final rallies put on by the Kamala Harris campaign, some of them with protest signs in hand.
Y'all can let her know, Kamala, we don't want to lose because of Gaza.
In a city wary of a repeat of January 6th, security measures appeared around important landmarks weeks ahead of Election Day. But in the shadow of the Capitol building is an establishment known for having withstood decades of polarizing politics. The Hawk and Dove welcomes both sides.
We always have an American flag flying, appropriate. The channels are always playing sports and politics, very appropriate. And we just want to be a welcoming place for all.
General Manager Leah Kolb says original owner Stuart Long opened the Hawk and Dove in 1967 as a dive bar.
Given the proximity to the Capitol, he wanted a place where everybody could just walk in, both sides of the aisle, come in, have drinks, leave politics aside. That's why it feels very in that bipartisan world and very lacking specificity of we're Republicans, we're Democrats. We're Hawks and we're Doves. We're just trying to be peaceful and come in and have a place to have a community.
Most of the Hawk and Dove's business comes from the Capitol building, just 3 blocks away. The bar has served generations of high-profile politicians.
One of my favorite humans that comes through these doors is Congressman Kelly from Mississippi. And we had his birthday here back in March. We had a big to-do upstairs, live band. And one thing I've actually noticed is that they come in here to just be people. Usually when they're coming in after the 5 o'clock hour, they're really just coming in, have a bucket of beers, shoot the stuff of the day, and just decompress as a group of humans, not politicians.
For Hawk and Dove staff, serving senators makes it a unique place to work.
Working here for about 9 years now. Because I wasn't in politics way back then, but working over here, working with people from the Capitol Hill, you hear stuff. Now you create your own opinion about things also. Yeah. So that's an eye opener for me, which is actually pretty good for me. Now I'm really I really read the news now, so at least be in touch of what's happening in the world. Yeah.
On election nights, the bar sees large crowds.
People want a space where they can come together to watch things. Yeah, we all have TVs at home. We can all do that by ourselves. But I think it's a little bit, there's just something about camaraderie and experiencing how you're feeling with other people. Then you don't feel so I don't know, when I'm anxious, the last thing I want to do is be by myself.
But in a polarized political climate, emotions can run high. Security and the comfort of patrons are both concerns.
2016 was very emotional for a lot of people. I'm guessing because of the candidate who won. People were crying, people were going outside, screaming, breaking stuff. It just yeah. It was an emotional night for a lot of people.
Okay, I'm gonna over prepare. Fully staffed. I'm opening both floors. I've even hired security for the latter half of the day. I don't know what it's gonna be.
The polls are closed, so I'm not really sure how it's gonna turn out tonight. Either or who the person is, as long as they they adhere to their position and they help the people, then that's it for me. Doesn't matter who wins, as long as they're thinking about the people.
I'm nervous. I'm a little excited. I'm really hoping that Harris wins Pennsylvania. That's my big cross right now. It would be exciting, or a surprise state turns blue.
As polls slowly closed on election night, patrons began flooding into the Hawk and Dove to watch the votes roll in.
It's going fantastic. It's a great crowd in there. People are really happy. I think the energy I was expecting of the anxiety and stress, it's not really there. I mean, it's out of our hands.
Due to several Republican Party restaurant buyouts in the neighborhood nearby, the crowd at the Hawk and Dove was largely Democratic on election night. For many Democrats, the evening began with cautious optimism. Over the course of the night, however, that optimism began to waver.
I
I think it's honestly the path we took here from the metro, really, because we got off at the Capitol South station, and something about that route, Mark, maybe you know more, but there were a lot of, let's just say, red hats between there and here.
Interesting.
I've been noticing this like festive atmosphere among that crowd, and it's making me curious. What do they know that I don't?
That makes me nervous.
Right.
I want to thank the American people for the extraordinary honor of being elected your 47th president and your 45th president.
I'm trying to remember. I think it was probably about like 9, 10 o'clock. Like after all the East Coast polls had closed. So, you know, Pennsylvania, like watching the Pennsylvania one go like, oh, it's there. It's how did that happen so quickly where it just flipped? I mean, you could just see the body language on every person here, you know, as they're like, all right, this is a good place to post up. And then they're happy. And then all of a sudden they're not happy. And like watching the physicality of just kind of like, I try not to be too nosy, but I am always listening. And you can definitely sense a very high level of excitement from the side of the party that went in their favor.
For the Hawk and Dove, a Trump victory means new staff on the Hill and therefore new patrons adding their mark to the bar's rich history. No matter the administration, at DC's quintessential bipartisan bar, life goes on.
But it's really exciting too. I'm excited to see what a new administration can do for business in general, less politically speaking and just more like there are new faces. There are new people in this city who have never been here before, but based on word of mouth, based on history, the fact that we've been around since 1967 says a lot, and we're still here.